Hey, look at that. Hey, here we are.
Hey.
Monday night. Brad
Yes.
Brown, Michael Grady, HORSEPLAY, RTV6, Facebook Live, as week number 6 is in the books. And I'm not working tonight beyond this, so that's why I'm dressed as such. Dave Furst is back hitting some buttons on some other things, so he'll be along here in just a moment.
Yes, he will.
And,
we got some.
This man, you've already done this all, for the first part of the day here on 1070. So this is what my realization is as I was kind of processing this whole thing last night. This is what a lot of other cities have to do with their football team.
Right.
That Indianapolis has not done but one stray season when your star quarterback gets injured, and that happens, and you have to do it like that. But this is what the likes of I feel sorry a little bit for people in Cleveland almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Jacksonville and Tennessee and other places that have had.
They think we're spoiled.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a generation of Colts fans who don't know what it's like to lose fewer than 6 games, 5-6 games.
Yeah,
That's it.
All that string of just wander on in here.
Is this the camera that's on right now?
It's the one with the red light.
All right. Hey, look who's here, everybody. Kevin Gregory.
Hey.
I just want to give you my final words from last night.
Yes.
I'm going to head off to bed. The Colts have got this one.
That was about 10 after 11.
Famous last words.
Push alert woke me up.
Hey, on your RTV6 app. There you go. Congratulations.
Usually when the Colts are ahead, you're pretty good shape if you go to bed.
Six and a half
with
minutes they were up
two
to the
touchdown
scores.
lead. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was not watching the game. I had another function to attend to last night, but I'm following along on Twitter.
Yeah.
As many are. And I will say this. The NFL telecasts that the networks are putting together are great. I know why the ratings are down on these NFL games is because NFL on Twitter following Yip Yaps
There's
along.
a thousand other ways to figure out what's going on.
It is so entertaining to watch people who have a shred of clue about football chime in and they're mortified at what's happened right now. But they haven't watched more than 2 minutes of football all season. So they got an opinion. I got something to say it. So we're all going to talk about it right now.
38% down from week 6 from a year ago.
Yeah.
But this was 2 teams in the worst division in football fighting for first place,
On a
so
Sunday
not
night
a
game.
big shocker
You really need to consider
that the ratings were down for this game.
Flex scheduling should maybe be a thing all season.
Because
Because it's just one of those things that, if you're a Sunday night viewer, I mean, if you're not in Indianapolis or Houston, you're not watching that game last night because there was frankly another game on that was painfully entertaining last night.
Chances are, if you were a baseball fan, you were watching the Cubs-Dodgers.
Yeah.
Even if you were kind of one of those
one-run
middle
thriller.
fans that's just a sports fan, there's not much, you're going to go watch an NLCS game over watching the Colts and the Texans muddle away in the middle.
It'd be interesting to know head-to-head because the baseball game was on, FS1?
It's on FS1, and I would be curious. I have to look at those numbers. I'll borrow a phone here and Google something and see what it was because I don't know what the agreement is with not being on Fox. I know there's probably something to that, but you've got 2 major market teams, Cubs, Dodgers. You got 2 teams there that are well spread across the country at that point, and you had Kershaw on the mound for that. So I'll look that up and see if I can come up with the numbers. But,
Football clearly won the night, but I'm curious how large of a gap
Probably
that
not
was.
as bad as you would think, or maybe the numbers were last year or something like that. Hey, Brady, can I talk to the producer real quick?
Yeah.
What's the password on our little iPad?
It's 1330.
What is it?
1330.
Oh, it's the address.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about that iPad.
Literally thousands of people now know the password.
Yeah,
to,
if anybody pops through here at some point and grabs the iPad in the studio.
That's the...
it's 1330.
All right, I'm getting there. Folks on Facebook, just bear with me on
That's
this.
fine. By the way, I want to point out the fact that I'm done with football season already. I've gone ahead and given up. I've moved on.
Pacers.
I got my
don't think
Pacers
you're
shirt
alone.
on. I got my Tigers hat on. It's 18 weeks until they report for spring training in Lakeland, Florida. So I'm ready to plan the trip accordingly at this point. See how it goes.
What are the odds I have the wrong iPad? Because I don't even see the app on this thing.
There's only like one thing on
Some
that.
stuff.
Nothing?
Have you
He's
managed
got it.
it?
James, GM and Pagano got to go. I think that's us. I think that's directed at us.
Okay. Yeah.
We got to go, or Pagano's got to go?
GM and Pagano got to go.
I like this here. One of these guys could be a GM. I feel
Grigson,
like.
Pagano, and the rest of the coaching staff need to go.
Yeah.
Bring in some help on the O-line and the defense.
Brady's coming over to save the show. The other iPad. Give me that. That thing's
Chuck,
got,
Pagano's got to go.
I think I can play Angry Birds on this thing.
What are the odds that the Facebook app's not on that? Hey, I tell you what. While we do all this and figure this out, put up the big graphic thingy. Here's the final from last night, in case you went to bed and How about all the Texans fans bolted, by the way?
Oh, that's always, particularly when you're the home team and you're down like that. I mean, that happens. It seems maybe once a month in sports where somebody,
that's
at some level, couple scores, 6 minutes, we're done. Those people were back on whatever the god awful highway is for traffic down there in Houston. Yeah. There's a lot of them.
But they don't have
Sunday night
down there.
Sunday night, get to bed early.
They were out of there. Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're listening on the radio on the way home. They light it up, even it up, and then come back and do what they do on that thing.
Andrew Luck's numbers.
Yeah.
Franco, everybody.
Hey,
right.
How about this?
There's two ways to look at this. First 100-yard rush for the Colts in either 55 games, which is regular season, or if you add the 6 playoff games, it's actually 61 games.
It sounds better when you say 61 because it's a massive number of games. Like 55, it's like, okay, that's 61 games.
61 total, including the playoffs.
That's forever.
You got to go back to 2012.
Yeah. Vic Ballard against the Texans.
Yeah, Vic Ballard. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it was funny to see the tail end of that game where it was 100, then it wasn't for a moment there because I think they took a yard back somewhere. They had to sit on it like at 98 or 99.
Right. Well, he lost a couple of yards, and we're like,
that would have been about the way to do that. Yeah. Luck's numbers in the grand scheme of things, I mean, it's just another one of those. You just strictly look at a box score.
Yeah.
Decent numbers. I mean, those are numbers that a lot of quarterbacks for a lot of teams would look at and be, okay, we do something with that.
Good for 3 quarters.
Yeah, they scored 23 points. That's going to win some games. But it was interesting to hear. I guess we'll hear from Coach coming up here today, just reading through the transcripts of what Pagano had to say. You got to finish.
We have some different cuts.
Yeah.
Radio term.
Yeah, wow, it is.
and one of them included something that happened today, as Chuck talked about. I mean, he came out of the gate in the news conference today, talking about how he. This is a theme with him. Now 5 years into it, he's not going to throw his players under the bus.
It's
you're just shaking your head.
It's incredibly soft.
I was going to say, where does that come from? Because he's a good old boy coach. But I got to believe there's some coaches out there that will call some guys out at some point.
Absolutely,
yeah.
and some guys need that. That's the word. And on the radio show, I talked to Reggie Wayne on Friday, Marlon Jackson today, and both guys talked about discipline from a coach, accountability from a head coach, and both of those two things are sorely missed in that Colts locker room right now. The thing that you're hearing in the Colts locker room is it's okay. We're okay. I'm encouraged. We're all right. Keep chopping wood. I like the way you fought. You showed some grit.
Iron sharpens
iron.
You know, and it's at some point you just
like
need
having
to
Dr.
give.
Phil as your coach.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I talked about this. To me, all of that's fine if you're in high school or college football.
Cool. Yep.
It's the damn pros.
Yes.
Guys are getting paid.
It's a business, yo.
You don't have to make people feel good.
No.
Let the paycheck do that.
Yeah.
Get out there and win some freaking games.
Yeah, guys, I think guys know their roles, and it's like this. If you don't step up to the performance we expect of you, there's a lot of guys lined up out there that will do it, frankly, for a lot less money than some of these guys are getting, and will put the effort in to say, I'm going to earn that spot on that 53.
And getting rid of C.O. Moore and Cromartie did not send that message. This is not the Browns. This is not the Jaguars. There's one Super Bowl championship since coming to Indianapolis, but there's been a standard of excellence in the way that this franchise conducts themselves and a certain level that they always want to be on. And this whole attitude of, well, we have guys hurt, so you can kind of understand. Last year, Luck was hurt. So, 8-8 without Luck out there, as opposed to, actually, you guys probably should have won the AFC South. You had Texans on your home field with Brandon Whedon as their quarterback, and you choked that game away and still lost. So, no, I don't look at it as, we were 8-8 without Andrew Luck. No, you guys were 8-8 and you still had opportunities.
What's always funny is we hear both sides of this conversation, that they'll come and go and talk about the injuries and talk about we're dealing with a depleted roster and this and that. But then they'll come back in the very next press conference and say there are no gimmies. Nobody's going to make excuses for you.
Oh, no.
The NFL.
Not the next day.
Yeah.
Last night, in the same sentence, Pagano said, you see, we had a mass unit out there. I mean, you saw who was out there at the end of the game. We're not going to make excuses. In the same sentence.
I caught that.
Sentence.
I caught that. Okay, so to put all this together then, let's start last night when Chuck said, look, our guys, we're not finishing games, but then came out of the gate today and said, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, he said it last night. He said the team lacked the killer instinct.
Right.
Lacked the killer instinct. That seems obvious. That seems clear.
Valid
he was
point.
asked about it today, and all of a sudden he started backpedaling.
It's about having a killer instinct and finishing.
How do you get that killer instinct? How do you?
You have to. You got to learn it. We got a bunch of. We got veterans out there that understand it. We got young guys out there. We got. We got a mix and a blend. I mean, this team will fight. Okay, they will fight and they will fight and they will fight and they prepare and they work. Okay, we got to find a way to finish people off. We didn't find a way to get that one finished. But these guys, they know how to finish. And probably, if I could say it over again, and not caught up in emotions in the heat of the battle, I would probably word it differently. Because we've done it so many times before, and they know how to get the job done. And it's just because it gets to a situation where you're up 14 or down 14, you don't change, the way you play, how you execute, how you communicate, those type of things.
Feeling.
Nice kid.
I'm not sure. I hear that line a lot from a lot of coaches. You don't change the way you play up 14 or down 14. I'm not sure that I've ever believed that, because there should be, in fact, if you're up 14, there should be a mentality to almost go more. Put your thumb on them and go up 21, go up 28. If you kind of keep cruising along at that point, that's where that tendency is to relax and guys go down. Whereas if you're down 14, you can't play the same. You've got to go up to find what you're looking for on that. So that's one of those lines I pick out of there. You hear that from a lot of guys. We're going to play the same. No, you're not.
And this team isn't good enough to say, we got them.
We're good.
Good. It's just, all right, go let the time run out.
Yep.
They're not good enough to say that.
I would argue no one's that good in the NFL. I mean, maybe outside of the Patriots, because once they got a 14-point lead, okay, I think that's, Belichick's going to take care of it. They're going to win the game.
They're going to add another 14.
But I'd say 90% of the teams in the NFL have no business thinking they're up 14. We got this.
No way. Particularly 6.5. That's a lot of time. 6.5 minutes, I think it was the margin at the end right there.
It was some 7 minutes. By the time they whittled it down, I mean, they still had a 2-score advantage with some 3.5 minutes to play, I think.
The Colts took their foot off the gas. Really, they got a 13-point lead, and they really started to be conservative on the offensive end. And that's the thing. You need to continue to attack. I mean, you use a Patriots example. Patriots go up 14 points. They want to add another 14. Then they want to add another 14.
They're unafraid to be up 35 to 7.
They are going to pound you as if this was some college football back in the BCS days. They're trying to win 77 zip to get some BCS love. So that's what the Patriots do. The Colts had to continue to do that as well. You can't go, all right, we got ourselves a little lead, let's try to slow things down. No, this offense is better when they're going up tempo. Keep with that tempo the whole game.
You see that from a lot of the teams that are winning games right now. Minnesota, Oakland, these teams are leading their divisions right now. However they're doing it, they're coming out and they are staying. I see the level of aggressive with those teams. The energy level with those teams in some form or fashion is way up versus kind of all these teams that are in the middle of the league right now.
And to add to that point, the Colts don't have the talent that those teams have. Those are complete football teams. And there's a lot of talk today, especially on the radio, about job security with Pagano. Look, these guys are tied at the hip. As much as we can talk about the coaching decisions and the bonehead decisions we're seeing being made by the coaching staff, you can also point to bonehead decisions made with personnel. This team is has been poorly put together and poorly coached, and so those guys are rightly tied at the hip.
If this was a Twitter account, you would delete the whole damn thing and start over again.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
A new egg.
Yes.
Give me a new egg. Give me all of that. By the way, I'm sad to report that Lisa Valdez-Deemer, we lost her on Facebook. She says, boring, I'm out of here.
Oh, no. Lisa.
Come back, Lisa.
Sorry.
Where did you go?
I'll have a number prepared next time. I'm sorry.
All right, inside the numbers from last night. We can throw up the other big thingy we've got here. Colts, how about this? 3rd down last night, just 5 of 14. Colts red zone, just 2 of 6. Colts' last 3 possessions, you ask? How about this? Punt, and just for one good measure, another punt.
Hey, but the best punter in the conference.
Yeah.
Maybe in the league.
He's got a great leg.
Fantastic. McAfee,
It's
keep
an
it up.
active leg, as the kids say. And then Adam Vinatieri, just put him in the Hall of Fame now. 3 more field goals. So he now has 41 straight. The next one, perhaps this Sunday in Tennessee, will tie.
Oh, definitely Sunday.
The legendary.
Yeah, of course.
What are you saying? Is that going to be
That's all they
touchdowns?
do. Well, they got 8 field goals in 2 weeks. That's all they're doing.
He might
He's
be at
gonna
50
get
by
another.
the end of next week.
So you might be. So one more ties the liquored up kicker and Adam and Mike
Our
Vanderjagt.
idiot kicker.
And then did you hear Chris Collinsworth? I think it was Collinsworth. It might have been Al Michaels last night who said something about Peyton sitting at home, just can't wait for Vinatieri to beat Vanderjagt's record. I'm thinking, well, you might be around on something there. I don't know.
Yeah, Peyton was in Knoxville on Saturday, so he's
Yeah,
he's
it
was he?
yeah, it was a big Peyton Manning day down
Peyton
at UT.
Manning tour
Down
continues.
there. Yeah, they had him all over the place down there in Vol Orange and big crowd. They had the Alabama game.
Didn't
down
help
there.
the team, but
Yeah,
it was.
they got
It
whooped,
was
but
cool
it
to
was
see.
big. It was big. It was good to see some of that down there.
Okay, so let's talk about a little bit, make the smooth segue from talking about Peyton and to Luck. And I put something on Twitter last night. It's, to me, I mean, there is a myriad of things that got to change on this team.
Yes.
I mean, there's not just one thing.
Yeah.
It's the whole damn lot of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And yes.
But so my point is, even inside the locker room, I mean, to me, the true test of a team is when a coach really doesn't even have to coach. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's true.
When
That's a
there's
good
leadership coming from inside the locker room.
Yeah.
And I'm walking through this locker room, and I've done so the last 5 years in this regime. And after Reggie Wayne left, after Dwight Freeney left, I don't know who that guy is or guys, because let's face it, there should be somebody on defense, somebody on offense, or 1 or 2 guys. I don't know who the guy is when stuff like this happens. He's going to stand up, make a couple of comments, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to hop on board with this guy, and then ride it out.
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is. I don't think it's Andrew Luck.
I think I would agree with that, and I don't know. He doesn't seem to have the kind of personality that he's.
And that's mostly what it is, probably.
That's just not his nature. I think he's listen, physical attributes, the mental game that he plays, his skill set is pretty outstanding as an NFL quarterback. We can't deny that.
No.
Smartest guy
I'm not taking any of that away from him.
I always
at all.
feel like smartest guy in the room when we're standing there talking to him, but I don't think he's going to be that guy that's going to get in somebody's face and give him one of these.
No.
And sometimes
Or call out a guy.
Yep, absolutely. Or step up and kind of that WTF moment there that they have on nights like that, on the plane ride home, the next day at practice, to say how do we fix this at that point? And I think that until they find a guy, I don't know if that comes with age. I don't know who they bring in to do that.
But the age thing, though, we're 5 years into this now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you don't need to be 35 to be that guy.
It was Peyton's team after 10 games his rookie year.
Right.
This is his franchise.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
And
there are a lot of.
I like Mathis, great guy, but he doesn't have that personality either.
No. I
like Mike Adams.
Yeah.
And he probably has the best personality on the team.
Right.
I don't think he's the guy that people are going to. He's not the Pied Piper.
The other story over the weekend was Darrell Hazel being fired at Purdue, and one of the reasons the Boilermakers have struggled, 9 wins in 42 games or something like that, 3 Big Ten wins out of some 27 tries. One of the big reasons was they just didn't have good talent. Period. When Joe Tiller was there, you got Breeze, you Kyle Orton, you have playmakers. You had a good football team. And you had guys that, if things were going off, kilter, you had talented guys who could step up and say, hey, follow me. Mm-hmm. This is the way that we do things. Mm-hmm. This current Purdue team, the Purdue team of the last few years, they don't have talent and they don't have anybody with credibility to step up and say, this is the way we need to do things. It's maybe tough to say because this is a Colts team that made the AFC Championship game a couple of years ago, and Luck was hurt last year, that whole thing, and there were expectations this season. But this is not a talented football team at all. If you're going to step up and say something, there should be some credibility with it that this guy is going out and leading by example. But who on the stat sheet, who on that defense is doing something that's showing up on the stat sheet to make you go, wow, well, that guy's showing up.
Right.
That guy's playing out of his mind.
Right.
Vontae's playing good, pretty good football.
Right.
But outside of that, there isn't anybody else that's playing at a level where you can look at guys in the locker room and say, "Follow me." And they have a talent problem on this football team. And I know we talked last week about the whole Gregson saying, "Look, we put a lot of invested money in Luck, and so we couldn't do it." There are a lot of teams in this league that have health issues.
Right.
That have injuries across the board on their football team.
Yep.
Let's watch what happens with the Pittsburgh Steelers now without Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
The Minnesota Vikings, their starting quarterback was supposed to be Teddy Bridgewater. Starting running back supposed to be Adrian Peterson. Both guys out.
How are they doing right now?
No, they haven't lost a game. They haven't lost a game. There are a number of teams with injury issues, and you have to have the kind of talent, you have to have the kind of leadership, going back to your point, to where that's not even an excuse whatsoever.
Okay, so with all that being said, let's hear from Andrew after the loss yesterday. Is he fired up? Is he coming in here? Is he throwing stuff? Is he ready to go? Okay, come on! Here we go.
Yeah, it was a bad read. I threw it late. Bad throw. And they make you pay for those in the NFL. And that's one of those opportunities. We basically guaranteed points, in that position, going to halftime. And I mess it up.
What was Chuck's message after the game?
If you have the opportunity in this league, you have to put people away. And it's too hard to win games, surviving your mistakes, and so we had our opportunities. And I don't want to take any credit away from Houston. They did what they needed to do to win the game, and we didn't. Hard to think about a record in a sense after losing a game. For us, it was come in and try and win a game, and now it's move on to another division game. We're 2-4. Gotta get wins.
That doesn't make it extra disappointing knowing you guys could have taken it.
Any division loss is a little extra disappointing.
What changed late third quarter, fourth quarter of the offense?
Yeah, we'll have to go back and watch it. Obviously, we didn't make the plays we needed to. A simple answer.
Body language. Can I just say, body language is an impressive thing, particularly with athletes. We see this. And you've seen this a long time. You have too. At just how the demeanor of an athlete can say way more than what's coming out of his mouth. Right there. Andrew Luck. It's only week 6. I say only 2-4, but they got a couple wins, and a couple close ones. He looks worn out. He's done.
Yep.
Just looking at him right there. This.
Right.
It's tough to lose in Houston like that.
Hamster in a wheel, like that. Just feels like the hamster in the wheel looking at him. And the kid, it's like, oh man, he knows he's got to come back on Wednesday and answer us again, and he's got to go back on Sunday and get back in the battle for another division game.
Do you think he'll ever be criticized for body language like that? Because let's face it. I mean, Jay Cutler gets
owned. Wow.
I mean, his body language isn't great at all. I mean, during a game, it's horrible. Right.
Yeah.
So he gets criticized left and right. I mean,
there's some creeping up now with Luck. I think the thing with him is he is classically trained by his father. I mean, as tough as it may be, he knows what he has to do. He knows the drill. And so even though he may not want to, he's going to give the answers. He's going to follow through. He's not going to be a Cam Newton or anything like that.
Right.
He's not going to let his emotions get the best of him. But you can tell, to Brad's point, it's wearing on him, but he's got to do it. This is what he's been taught. This is what he's seen his father do for so many years. And so he's just kind of following.
And I think, too, that I think the kid accepts his role as the quarterback of this team. This is part of being the guy that just got the big paycheck, that wears the 12, leads them out, face on the stadium, face of the franchise. Part of that is having to do that. It might wear him out, and it might be that. It's just like, listen, you might be working third shift at the GM plant for 28 years, and you might hate it on that 3,000th night that you got to do it, but that's your deal. You're going to go in, you're going to grind it out, and you're going to do the hard work, and you're going to come home the next day in 3001 and 3002. The kid's going to get in and do that, and I think the pedigree to what you're saying there, it's Oliver Luck's kid. Yeah. It's what he comes from. I always felt that with Peyton, was that the kid was just, as a kid and as a man, was just a machine. That was Archie Manning's kid. He was built to be what he was.
Right.
Yeah, and he's going to get some criticism for his play. But if anybody thinks that this is,
as you should have.
But if anybody thinks this is Andrew's fault, you are
No.
sorely
No, I agree.
mistaken. We've said this over and over again. Andrew is not perfect, but the fact that he almost needs to be perfect for them to win football games says a lot about the makeup of this football team and the way that it's been coached so far this season. Your quarterback shouldn't have to be Superman. Peyton Manning was not even Clark Kent last season, and they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So if you have a talented team around your QB, your margin for error widens.
Very much.
One of the big hot topics today, of course, was that fourth down play in the third quarter. That it was third and inches. They didn't get it. Try to throw the ball. Then it was fourth and inches. You got Frank Gore back there. Who,
he was having a decent day.
For a change, was
was having a pretty good
actually
night.
going to have a 100-yard game, and it just passed the great Jim Brown on the all-time rushing record. Nope. We're going to see if we can throw the ball to T.Y. Hilton, which resulted in a sack.
That's always the great argument that you'll hear this at any level of football. I hear this a lot at high school football games now because very few high school teams are playing a traditional quarterback behind center. If it's third and a foot, your quarterback starts 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You're starting.
So he's already 5 yards.
So now
in the
it's
hole.
third or fourth and 5.5.
Right.
Essentially, at that point, there's always that argument to have. At that point, that's it. Right. I know.
They decided to pass.
Hang on a second. Man.
There you
go.
They decided to pass, and they needed this.
Yeah.
And they decided to
Right.
pass.
Pointing out the fact that Frank
Roll
Gore
out.
is now the 7th, leading rusher all time.
Frank Gore.
Yes, right there. Yeah.
Football team.
Yeah.
He's got a 2 and a 3.
Decided to pass, and they needed that.
You've got
Kind of thing you do like when you're playing Madden.
I'll take it.
Right, with your little cousin.
I'll take it a step further. You've got one of the more athletic quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right.
You got a guy who's essentially a tight end playing quarterback.
But now
Let him sneak it.
I'll say this to that effect. How many times over the course of 4+ years have we berated them for getting the quarterback beat up in certain situations like
But
that?
in that
So-
play,
If he gets a concussion, then we criticize the other way.
Fine,
Sure, I
but-
get that.
so
and don't do it on the right side of the line. Do the sneak on the left
Do
side
it
of the
on
line.
the more experienced
I'll
side.
agree and disagree with you all at once. Yes. QB sneak. It's real simple. Just go to the 7th. Go watch the 7th graders play down at Center Grove. Eric's going to have the kids sneaking it for a foot.
Ooh, can we get Eric Moore to coach this guy? Ooh, that would be. Wow. I don't think Eric wants the job.
Eric's
there.
smart enough to know what
He's
he
got
wants.
enough
He's got
going
a great
on right
gig right now.
Defensively, towards the end, Chuck Pagano was asked whether or not they had changed concepts when they were up 14 with 7 to go.
You don't play different when you're up 14.
And-
we just heard it.
Here's another take.
No, I don't think so. I mean, you can say we wanted to mix up some things. We didn't play any different coverages or calls that we'd been playing. We were going to make sure that 10 did not beat us, and we were going to try to take him out of the game, the entire game, make sure the runner didn't get loose. We did that in the first half. We started the third quarter, and he had a 26-yarder, a 12-yarder, and a 14-yarder, out of nowhere. They executed, and we didn't, and you get down the stretch, you get to the 7-minute mark, and you're up 14, you can say, well, they're dinking and dunking this, that, and the other. We weren't doing really anything different. And I think what happens is you get in these ball games and momentum shifts, and you can't get away from what got you to that point. And that just comes down to we gotta execute and you gotta get the job done, and we didn't get the job done.
I like Greg Hendrick's comment here on Facebook Live. It says they're not used to being up 14. Down 14, maybe.
Wow. You can't change what got you there, but what got you there gave up a quick score in the fourth quarter, and it has you give up
You're
another
still
one.
trying to tackle Lamar Miller, who avoided, 7, 8 tackles? Only 3 guys actually got a paw on him, but
We're in. You're right. We're in gut check time for this football team. Looking at the schedule the rest of the way.
We're doing this before the show.
Yeah,
throw up the AFC South standings too while we're talking about this. So
you look at these remaining games for this Colts football team. The winnable games are really you could say against the Titans, but the one thing that the Titans do well is run the football with DeMarco Murray, and they're coming off. They're coming, and the Colts can't stop average running backs.
No, I was going to say, what happened last night? Lamar Miller ran the snot out of him.
And who before that with the Chicago Bears?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and then before that game too with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Right. Jacksonville and Chicago, not good running teams, ran all over the Colts. Right. Lamar Miller ran over the Colts yesterday, and so now DeMarco Murray is going to be next in Nashville. Then it's.
My big question is at this point, there's 10 games left on this thing. Mm-hmm. Pick a game where the Colts are going to be favored. Show me a game where the Colts are going to be favored right now after that last one. Maybe a point here and there, play an even line, whatever. But look at that schedule and pick a game and go, that's a gimme. We're going to get that one.
I don't see, I mean, I looked at it. I don't know if there's 4 more wins this season.
At Titans, Chiefs at home. Chiefs are playing good football. At the Packers.
Well, who knows about Green Bay?
No,
that's not Green Bay on the right.
No. Titans at home, okay, perhaps. Steelers at home on Thanksgiving. At the New York Jets. Couldn't beat the Jets at home last year.
And that's on Monday night, by the way. That's live on RTV6.
Yes.
Ooh, I can't wait.
December 5th, mark your calendar.
Texans at home, then at Minnesota Vikings, at the Raiders, and then Jaguars at home. They have 2 wins right now.
That's a December that normally you would look at and go, 3 or 4 wins out of that. Solid way to get toward the playoffs at that point.
I mean, are there 6 wins there to get?
Oh, 6 out of 2. I don't see them winning 6 out of 10 at all.
8-8. Oh, 8-8's a pipe dream right now. It feels like. Mm-mm. Yeah. Mm-mm. I'll buy you dinner if they make it 8.
Ooh, another reason to cheer for the Colts. I like that. So, and a lot of people talked. We got to wrap things up here. By the way, this just in: James Hinchcliffe safe for tonight's show, so he advances to next week. Anyway,
nice. John Hinch.
That gets more applause than anything else.
And the crowd goes wild.
Exactly. Obviously, no coaching changes this week. No front office changes. There's going to be some, at least at the end of the season, don't you think?
Yeah, but we thought that last season, Dave.
Well, I think that card's been played.
If Andrew Luck is healthy an entire season and you win fewer games than you did when he missed most of the season, then you have to do something. But Jim wants to be loyal. Jim wants this to work out. I mean, he put that whole show on last year at the complex.
And I honestly
we love each other. We're all good.
Yeah.
And
he meant well and all that. And I can't.
I think it was a case of more his heart than
oh,
actually.
No question. Yeah.
I think he desperately wants it to work. This was his big decision after you say goodbye to a Hall of Famer and Bill Polian. You know what I mean? You make that kind of call, and look, Gregson's my guy. Pagano, then you have some success, get to an AFC Championship game, and then it starts to go on the decline. Right now, you are in worse shape than you were when those guys started.
So this whole thing needs to be tidied up. This whole ship, from top to bottom.
Yes.
This thing is rudderless right now.
We've talked about a lot of little things just with that. That on the field, locker room, not necessarily off the field. We are fortunate that we don't have a group of guys that are out getting in any sort of trouble that some franchises have to deal with. So it hasn't gotten that bad yet.
Right.
But there is still clearly the on the field product is in a wayward direction right now that needs some tending to.
Accountability. Stop. You just have to stop making excuses.
That's probably the capital A.
Too proud of a franchise for excuses.
All right, the countdown is on. I see is Kevin back there. He's changed shirts.
Wow, Kevin, no tie.
It's time for us to get off Facebook Live when he's changed shirts. So that'll do it for us. Again, we're back next week, next Monday, 8 o'clock. We look forward to talking to you once again on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for all the comments. Some outstanding stuff once again. Nice job and all that. And we'll be back here next Monday, maybe talking about a Colts victory in Nashville. At this point, we really have no idea, do we? For Brad Brown, Michael Grady, Dave Furst. See you next week, everybody.